Cage Minds, Mike Frankel. We're with Josh Pitbull Torres. It's the road to June 25th. Mike Alvarado's the opponent. First off, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Now, for you, there was a giant letdown, and then another big fight comes along. So let's go through the sequence of events. How long did it take for this to pop up after Zab Judah fell through?
Yeah, surprisingly, it didn't take very long. Maybe like a couple weeks after the previous fight had fell through, which was a good thing because it was a bummer to lose out on such a big fight. And then for God to open up another big door like this, it's a blessing, and I'm just excited to go out there and perform.
How uplifting was that for you?
Oh, it was awesome, man. Like I said, God will close one door and open up more, so I'm excited.
How long did it take to get back in here, get formulating a game plan then for Mike?
We were in the gym right after the Zab Judah fight, so we've been in shape. We were helping other people get ready for their fights. So we were sparring, we were training. So everything's falling into place. We're ready to go.
So another well-known name. What are your thoughts on Mike as a fighter?
He's a great fighter. He's a former world champion. We can't overlook anybody, but he's been in some wars. He has a lot of miles on his body, and I feel that my youth is going to benefit me. We're going to go in there, we're going to push the fight, and we're just excited for this opportunity.
I've seen articles that say inevitably he will brawl. So what do you do then to keep it technical and try to use his aggression against him?
I just have to stay focused on my game plan. I have to do what I've worked on doing. I have to dictate the pace. Regardless of what he does, we're confident that we can lead the dance, we can do what we want to do, and we can be victorious in this fight.
For this fight, have you changed anything up in the camp differently?
No, it's always work hard. Of course, every style is different, so we've adjusted accordingly, and we know that we have what it takes to go out there on June 25th and come out with the victory.
Well, talking about then, from Zab to Mike Alvarado, what are some major differences that you've had to change up?
Of course, the southpaw and right-hander. I know Mike Alvarado once in a while will switch, but he's not a dedicated left-hander, so that's the main difference. Zab Judah's a little bit more slick. He's a counter-puncher. Like you said, Alvarado likes to bang most of the time, so I think this is a more fan-friendly fight for the people that are going to be watching. It's going to be my style. I think it's going to be a great fight for everybody to see, so I'm excited.
For you, do you like the more technical guy, or do you enjoy more of fighting a brawler, such as you're getting?
It's always easier to fight a technical fight, but deep down inside, I love a good fight. I like to give the fans what they want to see. I think that whether I'm boxing or I'm brawling, I think the fans are always entertained.
Thinking about that stylistic matchup, did it bring a smile to your face? You're like, oh, well, this is going to be a very fan-friendly and pleasurable fight to get to look back upon.
Oh, absolutely, especially after training for a slick fighter like Zab Judah. We're in camp with Austin Trout, and he's hard to hit. He's super lightning fast. And then when they say Mike Alvarado, it's like, okay, this is our style. This is what my style is made for. So, it was an awesome call and an awesome fight for us to take.
At the level you're at, do you feel when you're improving? You came from that Zab Judah camp, like you said, working on a slick stylist, and now you're going to a brawler. Do you feel it? Do you see it in your sparring? Like, wow, I'm doing things exceeding my expectations. I can feel where I'm getting better at.
Oh, absolutely. I feel better every day. I feel like a young veteran in this ring, even though I'm only 26. I feel like, I've had a lot of great experiences in my career that are going to benefit me in this night. And I feel like I'm right at that breaking point to where, one or two more wins can put me in that superstar potential. And, I'm just excited to represent New Mexico and open the door for the future up-and-coming boxers.
I think this is fight number 20 for you as a pro, coming up on that. Do you look at certain milestones as a mark, I'm going to get this many fights in? Do you see that, or just take one fight, you're able to look back at that kind of thing later?
I take it one fight at a time, and then I look back and, and I start, looking at my accomplishments. But, we're focused on this fight, and we'll go on from there.
Have you been able to think at least, well, not in camp, but after Zab, in between, did you have a moment to think, well, I'm getting on this precipice, big names, guys I've looked up to, we're getting these calls, this hard work, this dedication, it's paying off?
Oh, absolutely. And it's made it all worth it, all the hours and miles that we put into this career. It's finally starting to paying off, and we're getting these big calls, and I know that one or two more victories, and we're going to be, even closer to the top.
Getting involved with these big fights and seeing your name in these big lights, headlines about where you're going to be fighting, local media, we've always been covering you, but when it gets a little bit bigger, is it still a little surreal?
Absolutely. Like when we're out there in Vegas, all the press conferences, all the interviews, standing next to Zab Judah himself, it's been a dream come true. And, I just want to inspire all the up-and-coming boxers. Hey, it's going to be worth it one day if you keep pushing and you keep putting in the hard work.
And then something that's not changed from the last fight, though, you are the underdog. So how are you taking that mentality and running with it?
I think it's a good thing for me. I have nothing to lose. I go in there, I do what I do, and, God willing, I'll be victorious. I think the pressure's on Mike Alvarado. He's the one that is expected to win. He's the one that's been in the bigger fights. He's the one that supposedly has bigger plans. So, that's where I come in and change the plans and go from there.
We know that everything around the camp is positive. It's positive working towards the goal, positive working towards that night. Have you seen or come across any negative feedback out there? Has there been any of that kind of brush up towards you, or everything's just kind of steady as the ship goes?
Camp's been great. Even with the Zab Judah fight, there's never been a negative moment. There's always comments. People are always going to have their opinion, but I just brush past it. It doesn't affect me. I'm still the one getting in that ring. I'm still the one putting in this work, and I know that I have what it takes to be victorious.
What is the major factor that's going to contribute to you winning this fight on the 25th?
My youth, my hunger, my strength, and God's on my side, and I feel like I can't lose.
For the Pitbull supporters, for the New Mexico boxing supporters, what's the message?
Thank you guys for all the support. It's been a long road. I feel like we're getting closer to the top. Be patient. We're only a couple wins away from doing big things.
Any last comment from Pitbull?
Just tune in June 25th. This is a fight you don't want to miss. It's going to be exciting, and I promise to bring fireworks.
Thank you for the time, sir.
Thank you.